Good morning, everybody. As you go to the Chumash for today, we're holding in Parshas Balak. We are holding the second reading of Parshas Balak, chapter 22, verse number 13. Vayakam Bilam, and Bilam got up, Vabaykin in the morning, Vayemel Sari Balak, and he told the chieftains or the ministers of Balak, go to your land, Ki ma'ain Hashem lititi, because God is holding me back from going lahalachimachem to go with you. Now she says lahalachimachem to go with you. I mean, she should have said to go in general, but he said with you. We learned that he was conceit. You can see he was a Balgaiva. He was an egotistical person, for he didn't want to reveal that he needed the approval of God. Instead, taking an arrogant tone. For this reason, Balak continued to send dignitaries, because he felt maybe he needs to have greater dignitaries. So the Moav nobles came back to Balak, and they told him, Bilam will not go with us. So Balak went out, and he sent even more important and more numerous, in a higher rank than these. They came to Bilam, Balak ben Tzipor. This is what Balak, the son of Tzipor, said. Don't hesitate to go with us. Verse number 17, because I will honor you greatly. Whatever you tell me, I'll do. Come and curse these people. Now she says, I will give you more than whatever you have received in the past. Verse 18, Vayan Bilam Vayema Elavdi Balak. So Bilam answered to the servants of Balak. Immediately Balak Malay Base Kasav is up. If Balak would give me a full of house full of gold and silver, I cannot go against the mouth of God. Elehoi. Last is Ketana, whether to do a big thing or Gedolah, to do a small thing or a big thing. Now she says, from here we see that Bilam was greedy and he desired other people's money. As he says, Balak really ought to give me all his silver and his gold. Otherwise, you have to hire many armies to fight the Jews. Even then, maybe he would succeed defeating them, maybe not. With me, my curses are valuable. But nevertheless, he was forced to reveal that he's dependent on others, and unwillingly prophesies here that he would be unable to fulfill the blessings in which the patriarch, to nullify the blessings which the patriarchs have blessed the Jews by divine presence. Stay with me. He told them the same thing. Stay with me tonight. I'll know my Yosef Hashem Dabiribi, what God is telling me. Rashi says, this is again a prophetic, he's made again a nevuah. You too will ultimately go disappointed like the previous dignitaries. My Yosef, what more God will speak, he will not change his words from blessing to curse, but hopefully he will not add more of their blessings. He unwittingly prophesies again here that God would later give them additional blessings through him. Bilam, and God came to Bilam by Laila the night. And he told him, if these people came to call you again, kum lech itam, get up and go with them. But whatever I put in your mouth, you shall do. Now she says, if the calling is for your benefit and you anticipate receiving payment for it, if it's all about you, go. That's one of the things we learn. The Gemara says from here we learn that where a person wants to go, that's where God go. Have a safe trip. God doesn't hold you back from doing anything. So therefore he said, if it's all about you, go. Al-Karcha, even against your will, whatever I tell you, you must do. Despite this, Bilam went saying, maybe Bilam never knew. He wanted to curse the Jews. So he went out and he said, maybe God, I'll help persuade God, and he will agree to let me curse him. And that completes the Chumash for today. We now continue the Tanya of the day. We're holding the third chapter in the Geras HaTshuva. And Alter Rebbe is talking again. He goes into the fast that the Gemara brings down, the Arizal brings down. Ultimately, it says we should at least do 252 fasts. But never, however, this applies only to a person who is strong and robust, is healthy. With all these fasts are not going to hurt him. Klal, whatsoever. Lebrias gufay, to the health of his body. Maybe like the older generations that had the capability to do these fasts, and it didn't, chas v'shalom, had a dangerous effect on their body. But whoever is affected by many fasts, he's in Pasha, get sick. The God forbid will bring him to an illness, to pain. They're saying as in this contemporary generation, where fasting is not an easy thing to do. So therefore, also lahar bis betainis. Alter Rebbe was a rav. He was a codified Jewish law. And he says over here, it's forbidden to undertake numerous fasts. Today you shouldn't fast. I feel like Christus is even for sins that are punished by God forbid, being cut off from God or death by Bezdin. But mitzvah says, for surely you shouldn't fast on any positive commandment or mitzvah leisei or any negative commandment. Shem ben is that they don't have these strong ramifications. But a person, if he wants to fast, he can fast according to what he personally estimates. Shalayazik, like it won't harm him. So if you want to fast, you can fast. It's not forbidden in the Torah to fast. And you can fast, but you have to fast. You can fast only if chas v'shalom it's not going to hurt you. I feel a bit because even the early generations, the times of the Tanoim and Amarayim, that's why in the Gemara it brings down certain rabbis, as the Alter Rebbe brought down, that the teeth became black. These were strong people that affected their teeth. These were strong people who had the capability to matzal atzayre nafshe, that they can mortify themselves. They had that capability. Not everybody has that capability to do that themselves. Whoever cannot fast, and yet he does so, that is called a sinner. The Gemara Baba Kama the Tainus is brought down in the Gemara of Tainus, which talks about fasts in general. And if a person cannot fast and he hurts himself, he simply hurts his life, that is a sin. You're not allowed to hurt yourself. Even if he sinned, the Gemara over there says, Rashi says, even if he sinned a specific sin which he knows, he's not allowed to fast if it's going to hurt him, as Rashi explains it. The very same author, with the opinion that he who fast thinketh is considered holy, because as Rashi explains, his sins are thereby expunged, goes on to state that he's considered a sinner if he cannot fast and he does so. So if you can fast, you should fast. But if you cannot fast and it hurts you, you should not fast. As brought down in the Gemara in Zvachim, there's no one Jew who's not guilty, from transgressing a positive commandment. We mentioned that in the beginning of Tanya, learning Torah. So according to that, everybody would have to fast. Thus, though there are always sins which one should fast, one should do only if there's a will. If this will no way harm impair his life. God didn't want people to get sick. God forbid. Especially a student of Torah that his job, he's a student in yeshiva. A student in yeshiva needs to sit and learn. If he's going to fast, he's not going to be able to learn. So a student of Tziyash Kaifa Kavayim, there's a double punishment. because he's supposed to sit and learn. Now he's fasting. And basically, it's going to be chalishus. He's going to get weak fasting. So he has a double sin. Kimach v'lishatainis, because of the weakness of this fast, he can't learn Torah. So therefore, students, even students, forget about people that got to go to work, you got to make a living, that they shouldn't fast because it's going to harm them. Even a student to study, sitting in yeshiva should not fast because his obligation is to sit and learn Torah. And how can he sit and learn Torah if he's fasting? So what is the remedy today for all the sins that we have done? So what person in order to be loved by his creator as before the sin? Therefore it's written that today the best way to do it is to redeem your sin with charity. As brought down by the codifiers of Jewish law, that a person should give at least for each fast 18 large Polish coins. Means 18 important dollars. Important money. So $18 for each fast. You should give $18 for each fast. And a person that's rich, he should add according to his means. As it's brought down from the Magen Avram, codified Jewish law, in Hilchos Tainis, in the laws of fasting. And that completes the Tanya for today, my dear friends. Today is the 11th day of the month, which is chapters 60. Chapter 60 to chapter 65. If you do those 6 chapters, you do the chitas of the day. The Rebbe writes today, in the day today, Hayom Yom, in a Tanya edition published in Zalkivi, in the year 1799, the first version of Igeres HaTshuva was printed. It was not divided into chapters, and there are variants from the present text in the content. So this Igeres HaTshuva was added in 1799. I want to wish you all a wonderful, beautiful day. Mitzshem, we'll see you all tomorrow, 8 o'clock. We'll continue the chitas of the day.